In section 6.6a, we're basically going to do the opposite of what we did yesterday. I want you to be able to write the simplest polynomial given the roots. So yesterday, we started out with the polynomial and we ended up with the roots. Today, you're going to start with the roots and work backwards, write them as factors, and then multiply them out to get the original polynomial. Okay, so in this section you're going to write polynomial functions given 2 or more roots. Now, roots may be rational, they may be irrational, or they may be complex. That's when we have i's in the answer. Irrational numbers, remember, are numbers that have no terminating decimals and with no repeating pattern. A rational number is a number that can be written, and if it's written as a decimal, it either terminates or stops or has a repeating pattern. So irrational and complex zeros, when we have those, they're going to come in pairs because we're talking about the simplest polynomial. That means if you see 3 plus 4i as a 0, then 3 minus 4i is also a 0, even if it's not listed. If you see the square root of 3 as a 0, then negative square root of 3 is also a 0. All right, now this is not the case for real numbers. Okay, so let's start out here. These are my zeros, or my roots. And what we can do here is these are all answers. So this means x equals -2, x equals 3, x equals 4. So yesterday we went back and forth with factors and roots. We went from factors to roots and roots to factors. So if we have a root, we write it as a factor like this. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to start with a -2, and we're bringing the 2 over, so we have x plus 2 and x minus 3. And this is where you're going to FOIL. Now just do 2 of them at a time. Start out here. This is going to give us x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6. We'll simplify this. So x squared minus x minus 6. And then we're just going to multiply by the third root. Change it to a factor, so that will be x minus 4. I'm just going to write it off to the side here, x minus 4. So I'm going to FOIL here, or distribute, I should say. Distribute here. I end up with x cubed minus x squared minus 6x. Then a -4 has to be multiplied all the way through. So this is going to be a negative, and a negative is going to give me, let's go here first. Negative 4x squared plus 4x, and I'm just lining them up as I go, and then minus and minus, or negative and a negative, is going to be plus 24. And now I can add. They're already lined up, so they'll be in standard form. That's going to give me x cubed minus 5x squared minus 2x plus 24. All right, now when we see an I, before we get started here, we're automatically going to make the complex conjugate, or negative 2i. So let's start with these first. We're going to say x, that's going to take the opposite here, minus 2i, x plus 2i. Now I'm going to FOIL, so this is going to be x squared plus 2xi minus 2xi, and then minus 4i squared. Okay, so we know that's going to go to 0. I squared changes to -1, so -4 times -1 is just going to be plus 4. So we have x squared plus 4. So that took care of this one and this one. And now we're going to multiply by This is a root. We'll change it to a factor. So we'll multiply by x minus 1. That'll give us x cubed minus x squared plus 4x minus 4. Okay, so we took care of that one. Now we'll get this one, and since it's x minus 2, we're going to do x plus 2. And I'm just going to squeeze it in right here. So x times x cubed is going to give me x to the 4th. This will be minus x cubed. And here we have 4x squared and minus 4x. Now I'm going to come here and get this plus 2. So plus 2x cubed minus 2x squared plus 8x and minus 8. So now we have x to the 4th plus x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4x minus 8. Okay, you have a couple to try down here. Let me just